You know, since it's been a while since the series aired, I kind of forgot about one of the big things that made me really enjoy this series, and what really got me into it. And that was how the series can go from a lighthearted comedy first half to just a very serious and dark, depressing tone like that. And that's what happened in this episode. We have a very fluffy first half. We get to see, the sisters and all that. We know there's obviously something going on with Hina, but it was nothing too serious at the first half. There was just something off, but nothing too bad. We see, like, a cutesy exchange with Momo and all that, talking to her grandpa, and, just asking what they need to make in terms of sweets. Just a very adorable scene. And, I mean, we also have the stuff with, shogi players, talking with each other, Nikaido talking with his best friend, Rei, and, I mean, just all these little exchanges. It was a truly enjoyable and fluffy scene. And, honestly, with the previous episodes, I was like, this is just setting me right at home. I'm just sitting down and relax. I'm like, this is just such a sweet episode. And it carries on, and I'm liking this exchange, just seeing how Rei has developed once again, talking with his friends, Nikaido's like, we need to make it to the end, and when you even see him blush and all that, and realize, like, how he thinks, and he got embarrassed. I just like all these little scenes. It's just a very nice tone to the first part of the episode, and I was just getting into it. Then all of a sudden, we have a full-on, like, flashback talking about Rei's past, his history. Now, to get right into it, everything that happened with Rei, for instance, the little details we got on him, was already explained in Season 1. Now, granted, I'm willing to put this aside. I mean, normal circumstances, I would say this is like a filler episode. Like, it's not really important, not much to talk about overall, because we've already seen this stuff. And I've kind of already talked about how much he's developed. However, the thing is what makes this so important and why it doesn't necessarily bug me, even though it's stuff we've already seen before, is that it goes along with the main theme of the episode and what arc we're probably getting into, especially with what's going on with Hina. Hina is getting bullied. And with the flashback with, Rei thinking about everything that's happened throughout his life, his upbringing, all that, the loss of his parents, and people bullying him at school, and never really having anyone to call friend or hang out with, he knows how it feels to be very, very lonely. And Hina now being bullied, it's kind of like it's reflecting on that. Rei has experienced this. He has experienced this trauma. He knows how it feels to be alone. He knows how it feels to when you feel like no one's there for you when you're in this, place. For instance, at school. In this case, Hina's being bullied, and Rei automatically knows what's going on. As soon as he looks at her shoes, and he notices, like, the different things about them, and when he looks at her and all that, he automatically knows what is really happening here. And the only reason why he automatically knew was because he's experienced that himself. He's still trying to climb his way out of that pit that he was in. I mean, he's made his way out of that pit, almost, but he's still not completely out of it. And now that he's seeing this happen to Hina, this could probably bring back many memories that he thought he, went past and moved past, but also he might want to help out Hina in a point to where she doesn't feel like he does, because he doesn't want her to be like him. And so I like the message, even though, like I said, it was a scene, or the flashback with Rei and all that, him talking about himself, but stuff we've already seen. We already had this previously established in, Season 1, towards the end and even the beginning. It still mattered because, number one, like I said, goes to the theme of the episode, but also this is Season 2. And so, if we really do think about it, it's been a while since probably many of us have seen Season 1. I mean, if you're watching this series, obviously you've seen Season 1. You shouldn't be watching this if this is your first time watching the series. So, most likely, since it's been such a long while, that's probably why they also want to do that. Because to remind everybody of what Rei has been through and let us know why it's so important in this arc. So anyways, let's get right headfirst into it. I do like how the realistic nature of this arc is, in a way, or how this episode was depicted. And what I'm getting at is Rei was having a very happy-go-lucky day. Everything was fine. He was smiling. He was getting to talk to people. He got embarrassed. It just, everything seemed like it was a perfect day. And all of a sudden, he started thinking about very depressing and dark things. And then the episode took a turn. Now, when I look at this episode, I am reminded of things that even I personally have experienced. Not to go into any details, but basically, you could be having a very good day. Everything could be going right. You can be smiling and happy, spend time with your friends or family, whatever, but then all of a sudden, something happens. Something very small, like very tiny. But it reminds you of something. And then you start thinking about something very dark or depressing, and then you just get upset, you get stressed, and what was a beautiful and perfect day turns into something very depressing and just horrible. And that's kind of what happened here. It shows that even with the brightest of days, darkness still finds a way to kind of creep its way in and kind of ruin the moment. And so when Ray was like reflecting on his past, I couldn't help but imagine that this is what happens to people when they're dealing with their own issues throughout life, when they're going through things, when they're having a happy time and all of a sudden they think of something bad happened or they're reminded of something bad, then this is what happens. You know, something so good, a good day turns into a bad day. And like I said, I like that realistic nature of this episode. I don't know if that's what the episode was trying to go for, but that's what I pulled from it. Now, besides that, I guess the episode is very simple. It's not really like crazy, like in terms of just details and stuff, because, I mean, it was a very simplistic episode. It just wanted to get a theme across and what Hina is going through and trying to let us know that Ray's probably going to be trying to help her get through this, you know, hurdle that she's going through. So that's about it. I mean, the episode's very simple, but a good episode nonetheless. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, if you hate this episode, please be honest in the comments below. I love you guys. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe, and if you like my video, please leave a like. It means a lot. And if you don't like it, obviously leave a dislike. I don't fault you for it if you dislike it. Everybody has an opinion. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.